Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lucas Monster. Today we're going to be going over the top 10 best Star Wars Z Black Series figures of 2023. Now there are a ton of figures released in 2023, so it was super hard to make this list because there were so many I wanted to put on it, but I had to narrow it down to 10. So these are just my personal preferences on what I believe the top 10 are. Now obviously not everyone is going to agree, so please leave a comment down below what you guys think are the best 10 figures of the year, but these are my personal top 10. To get into the actual number 10 spot, we do have an honorable mention. This one goes out to the Rebel Commando. This one should have made the top 10 to be honest, but it came down to one thing, and that is the price. I think the figure itself is great. The likeness to the actor in the actual movie is great. I believe they might have used a Tamora Morrison face sculpt for this. Regardless, it looks incredible. It does look really good. The articulation is great. Paint apps are incredible. But yeah, it's a $33.99 figure. Way too much. It's crazy expensive. This should be a standard release figure, $24.99. And they went ahead and they put a $34 price tag on it. It's ridiculous in my opinion. Just for that alone, I cannot put it on the top 10. I really want to. I want to look past the price, but the price does come down to part of this list, and because of it, I could not include it. So it does make the honorable mention spot because I do want to acknowledge how good of a figure it is. And then jumping right into the number 10 spot, we actually have 3 figures here because this set was a 3-pack, and it is the Force Ghost 3-pack. This one might be a little controversial to make the top 10, but we've been asking for this pack for years, especially that Force Ghost Anakin, and now to finally get it, it is incredible. There's a ton of improvements with this set too. The photo reel on the Obi-Wan is great. Obviously Anakin is a brand new figure, and he looks incredible. And then of course Yoda is on that brand new Empire Strikes Back mold, and so he's the correct scale compared to the original one, which is way too big and it's on the old mold. So the updated new mold is just incredible. And of course it does have that amazing like retro card back style. I think the card backs look incredible, and I really love how this thing just came out. It's visually appealing. The figures don't have great articulation, but they're Force Ghosts. They just stand there. They don't need to have great articulation, so because of that, it's an easy top 10 for me, just because it's a set of figures I've been personally wanting for a really long time. So, you know, not everybody has to agree with this, but I really like the set. And coming in at the number 9 spot is another kind of controversial pick, but I had to give it to Bad Batch Season 2 Tech. This one has a ton of incredible upgrades, especially with the helmet and the goggles. The fact that you can actually see through his goggles and see the eyes is such a huge improvement compared to the Season 1 version. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme compared to the Season 1. I think the Season 1, like black and maroon, is a much better color scheme, but the improved helmet really helps this figure, and it makes it so much better. So if you like the Bad Batch and you like tech, consider picking up the Season 2 version because it is a sleeper figure this year. You will not be disappointed. Coming in at the number 8 spot, I gave it to Sabine from the Ahsoka show. This figure really surprised me. I was not expecting it to be so good, but the articulation is great. It comes with 3 accessories, 2 blasters with really good paint on them, and of course the Ezra saber. Overall, really dang good looking figure. I think the helmet works great. I know I saw some people saying that it has warping problems, but I personally didn't have any warping problems. It sits really good on the figure, but the thing that's really good about this figure is the likeness to the actress. It is incredible. This figure looks like a photo of the actress. The likeness is great. It's one of the best photo real applications we've gotten in the line to date. It is really good. But yeah, that mixed with the great paint apps, good accessories, and just really good articulation of like the modern Black Series figures makes this a really dang good figure. Coming in at the number 7 spot is a figure that should surprise no one. It is incredible. Everybody saw this one coming for the top 10 the second it was announced, and it is the brand new R2-D2. This thing is awesome. The fact that they finally made a 2-scale R2-D2 after 10 years of the Black Series, it's about time. Plus this thing comes with every accessory you would ever need for R2 that has storage in the figure too, so you don't have to worry about losing these little tiny pieces because you can store them on the figure. It's really great, and you know, paint apps are pretty good. Articulation for an astromech is pretty good. Overall, it's a pretty dang good figure, and one that we've been needing a remake of for a very long time. So it's really nice to have this one back in the line, and it's without a doubt top 10 of the year. Coming into the number 6 spot is one that I'm really glad made the top 10 because it's a figure that I really like, and that is Return of the Jedi Luke. This is another figure that we had an original version of back in like 2015, and we desperately needed a remake of, and we finally got a brand new Luke mold this year, and this was the best one of all the Luke molds compared to like the Light Cruiser Luke and the different other ones. I believe there was like the Grogu training Luke as well. This one was the best one by far. It looks incredible. I love the Return of the Jedi look with the flap on the chest, and I think the one that really sold me with this figure is the hair. The hair looks really dang good, especially compared to the Light Cruiser Luke. The hair is great on this one, and I know some people were complaining about the likeness to Mark Hamill. I think it looks great. I didn't really find any trouble with the likeness. I think it looks good, especially compared to older Black Series Lukes. Like, the likeness is incredible. It's one of the better likenesses we've gotten, and I really dig the figure. So this one is an easy top 10 for me. It almost made the number 5 spot, but it didn't quite get there. Darth Malgus takes the number 5 spot. This is a figure that I don't even own yet, but it is absolutely incredible. I've never played the game that Malgus is in. I'm not a huge like Knights of the Old Republic fan, but you know, this is a figure that if you just like action figures, you can appreciate this one. It is a big, beefy Sith Lord that has great articulation, an amazing sculpt, great photoreal, and really dang good accessories. It overall is just a really good action figure. And again, you don't have to play the games to just appreciate how good it is. So take this from me as someone who doesn't necessarily like KOTOR and doesn't even own the figure. This one is an easy top 5. There's a figure that actually kind of sneaked in last moment because it just released last month, and that is Duels and Vader. This one is one that was bound to make the top 10 as soon as it was announced. This one has a brand new torso that has all the battle damage from the end of Kenobi battle, and because of that, it has a ton of great detail, plus the modern articulation of the Black Series. Now, I wish they would have redone the legs, but I'm not too worried about that because he does have brand new arms, as well as a new torso that has all the battle damage, and of course, the real seller for this one is the battle damaged helmet with that Hayden Christensen likeness underneath. It is so dang good. I love the sculpt work that went into the helmet, and the likeness to Hayden Christensen, like I said, is spectacular. So this one is an easy top 5 for me, without a doubt. This spot is actually a figure that has been long awaited, and that is Padawan Ahsoka Tano. This one is, again, another one that was kind of bound to make the top 10 as soon as it was announced, just with the fan demand for this figure, and they did not disappoint. The articulation and modern sculpting on this figure is great, the accessories are good, and the one, again, kicker for this one is the likeness. They somehow managed to make the animated look and the realistic look at the same time, and they managed to make it perfect. I don't know how they did it because there isn't really like an actual actress this is based off of, but they managed to make it look animated and realistic at the same time, and it looks really dang good. Problems with the force hand, and specifically with like gripping the lightsaber. I didn't have any trouble with that, so you know, I kind of can't really comment on that part, so maybe I'm a little biased because I didn't have trouble with it, but I did want to acknowledge that that was a problem that some people were having. Number 2 spot is a tie between two figures, and this one is Oppo and the plain white Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Both of these figures are incredible, especially on that brand new 2023 Clone Trooper mold. This thing is incredible compared to the 2020 mold. It's got a brand new chest piece that is actually loose on the figure, and it's actually a little bit bigger, so it looks more realistic. It does have the brand new shoulder pads with the O-ring that does allow for the bicep swivel. It does have a little cut in the bicep too, so you don't have the problem with the pinching shoulder pads. It does have the fixed knees, so their knees aren't glued anymore. It even has a removable helmet that is a brand new helmet mold, and it's even smaller to make it look more realistic. They knocked it out of the park with these figures. It is easy one of the best clones of all time. If I had to like rank them in the clones, it would be number 2, right behind Captain Rex. I absolutely am in love with these clone troopers. One spot is another one that was bound to win as soon as it was announced, and that is the Black Series Hasbro Pulseon Starkiller set. This thing is incredible. From the box, which is just a piece of art, to the sculpt of the figure itself, it's incredible. We've been asking for swappable hands and extra lightsaber blades and different head sculpts for forever now, and they finally went ahead and they went all out on this figure. They gave us the 2 different lightsaber colors with 2 different swoosh effects, 3 different heads, a bunch of different hands, even the display base and the shocky hands, everything about this. They went all out, and I absolutely love it. I cannot praise this figure enough. You know, I might be a little biased. I grew up playing The Force Unleashed. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And so I do have a little bit of nostalgia for the character. We've been asking for this character ever since we started the channel here back in 2020. So, you know, maybe I'm a little biased, but I do think this one is one of Hasbro's best works. Like I said, the box itself is just a work of art with that recreation of the game cover, and everything about this is exactly what the fans wanted. So I'm really happy with this one, and I'm comfortable putting this at number 1 as the best Black Series figure of 2023. Not everybody can be happy with my list. This is just my personal opinion, so let me know down in the comments what you guys think the best figure of 2023 is, or even leave your entire top 10 down below, because I'd love to see what you guys think. But that is going to do it for my video. Make sure to go down and hit the like button, subscribe, and consider hitting that join button down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.